Hey guys, how you doing today? This is Coach D. Darrell Spears. Again, here, happy to have a discussion. Today we're going to talk about the differences between dating and marriage. Now, I know for a lot of people, when we discuss these things, they think that dating and marriage intertwines, and yes, it can if that process developed appropriately. So I've talked about the cycle of developing a relationship, talked about the dating phase, becoming exclusive, having a serious relationship that develops into being engaged, and then from being engaged, you get married, and then from marriage, you steadily progress and grow as a couple under the umbrella of marriage. Now, when I talk about the differences of dating in marriage, there are tons of differences. Yes, it does involve two people, but the one of the glaring facts is that most people don't, and I hope this can happen in many situations, but you should not. In most situations, you're not going to feel the same about a person when you were dating them as you are when you're married. At least I hope not, because I hope from the time you're dating them to getting married, your feelings are stronger, your love is stronger, everything is better because you've gotten grown the time to get to know this person, learn this person. And so when we're talking about dating is an aspect of development as far as two people being involved to be better for each other, to learn one another. When you're married, you should pretty much know that person. That's a difference. The familiarity between how familiar you are with a person that you decide to marry. You should not marry somebody you're not familiar with. When you're dating, you're not. When we're talking about intimacy, some people, even though intimacy can be inconsistent and can go be up and down, even if you're even if you are married or dating, and in many situations, particularly when people are married, they talk about they don't have sex as much as they did when they were dating, or they talk about the fact that the sex is not as good in the marriage as it was in dating, and that could be for a variety of reasons. But the fact of the matter is that in most situations, when you're married, you have more responsibilities and you have children, even though you can have children when you're dating. But in most situations, when you're married, you're living under the same roof, you have all these responsibilities, you got bills, your profession. There's so many things that you are involved in that take away from you spending exclusive time with that person. When you're dating, before you may have children while you're dating, your time is exclusive to is mainly invested in that person that you're trying to get to know. In marriage, you've already established that. And when you're talking about work, kids, family, that leaves less time for each other because you're trying to accomplish and function under all these different parameters that don't exist in a dating situation. Also, in dating, you can be spontaneous. You can because there's less responsibilities. Marriage presents far more responsibilities. And the fact of the matter, if you're dating, you don't have the pressure of operating specifically under a certain guideline and the legalities that marriage present, because you just can't do certain things being married. And the fact that you're legally tied and binding to this person, just can't leave. There are financial ramifications that don't exist if you're dating, unless there's children involved, particularly with child support. So these are some of the differences. When you're dating, the comfort level for things is not that high. At least it's most cases it's not. It should be at a whatever that baseline is, and that's different for any couple. But that baseline should change as you are dating and getting more connected to one another. You should feel more connected and more emotionally tied in marriage than in the dating phase. It's a phase. It's a phase to decide whether or not that person is worth taking to the next step. When you get to marriage, it's about maintaining and growing. That's a difference. That's a primary difference. Okay. Now, you just can't make decisions by yourself when you're dating, when you're married. You have to account for that person. When you're dating, you don't have those decisions unless it includes you doing things together. It's not as important. You can be more flexible. Marriage, not as flexible. Those are the difference. But the pressure to state it, I'm not going to say necessarily pressure, but you took an oath, or I mean, you vowed your vows, and under this institution in a certain way. You agreed to these things. It's legal. It's more serious. I think most people, when they get married, they want to get married one time in their life. I'm not gonna say nobody, but it's very few people marry somebody expecting to get a divorce. That's not if you're marrying someone and expect it not to last, then that marriage may not be for you. It's not. So that's just the facts of the matter. That there are primary differences between dating and marriage. Matter of fact, if you look at a stable-minded relationship of someone being married versus some people who are dating, you can see glaring differences in public between a couple who is married and a couple who is dating. You can see it. You can see differences. You can see differences. Okay? Your comfort level is supposed to be far greater in marriage and in dating. And you can see in public the display of affection where a couple's been together for 20 years. They may not be all hugged and cuddled up and kissing and like they can't keep their hands off each other. But you can see a couple that's been dating for 7-8 months. They all tied up together. They're inseparable. That doesn't necessarily happen. You don't see married, even though the married couple probably feels far more about each other than that couple who's been dating for 7 months. But they're displaying things. Everything is new, is learning, feel connected. You want to get to that level. Okay. So those are some of the fundamental differences. And yeah, we could talk about some other different things, but the fact of the matter is when it comes to the financial aspects of things that don't necessarily exist in dating, building, the children, operating under certain roles as a husband and wife, is far more serious, far more serious. And the dating phase is more about preparation, is more about exploring whether this is worth pursuing long term. Those are primary differences. So, guys, I want to thank you all for showing up today to listen to my video. This is Coach D. Durrell. Have a great day.